We're here to recognise and reflect that today has been another really difficult and challenging day for Victorians and the broader Victorian community. And I would like to start this afternoon by extending my deepest sympathy to the family, the loved ones, the friends, the schoolmates of the girl who was so tragically killed earlier today as a result of the bus accident in Stonehaven near Geelong. I'd also like to convey my sympathy to the broader school community who'd be feeling not just the loss of their schoolmate and their friend, but also to the other students, many other students who were injured as a result of this accident, and also too my thoughts are with the bus driver as well. Police are continuing their investigation, and I will leave it to Victoria Police to provide further operational details of that incident, but encourage anyone with dash camera details or other information to please contact Victoria Police with information that could be useful for their investigation. The Deputy Premier has been in contact with the school and the school community and will speak to the support that is being provided to the school at this really difficult time. I'd also like to thank the first responders, the emergency services, who responded to what must have been an incredibly difficult scene with many injured, and as we now know, a girl who's lost her life as she was travelling to a regular school day. Again, my thoughts are with the family and the broader school community, and we'll continue to provide support in whatever way we can for this difficult day for the school community. I would also like to make some comments now that Victoria Police has formally released details of the two officers who were tragically killed yesterday in Porepunkah. I'd like to convey my deepest sympathy to the family, the friends, the colleagues of the two officers, to Detective Leading Senior Constable Neil Thompson and Senior Constable Vadim Devart. Two police officers who put on their uniforms yesterday morning like every man and woman in Victoria Police. They wear that uniform with pride and they go to work every single day with the purpose of keeping our community safe. Yesterday, Neil and Vadim did not get the opportunity to come home at the end of the day, to take that uniform off, to reflect on the challenges of the day with their family and their loved ones. And it is to those family and loved ones that I convey my deepest sympathy, and also to that wider Victoria Police family who are feeling this grief, feeling this hurt so keenly, yet continue to put on that uniform with pride and courage and go to work to keep our community safe, and particularly to those officers who are involved in the active search that's going on in the northeast right now. Again, I will leave it to Victoria Police to provide ongoing operational details around their work in the northeast of Victoria. But again, urge the community to follow the advice of Victoria Police and provide any information they can, if they have information, to assist with their ongoing investigation. The Minister and I have been in regular contact with the Chief Commissioner over the course of today. We've been kept in regular updates, and the Chief Commissioner also shared with us his visit to the hospital bedside of the injured officer, and we should hold that injured officer as well in our hearts and in our thoughts, who is recovering from physical wounds but also carries the emotional challenge of what was experienced yesterday. I also wish to convey that the Chief Commissioner passed on just how deeply appreciative he and members of the Victoria Police community are of the incredible strong show of support from the Victorian community, from communities around the country. I've had many messages of support from other leaders, from other colleagues interstate. And I've also had so many messages of support for the Victoria Police family from my own family, friends and loved ones. Everyone is putting their arms around the Victoria Police family right now, and will continue to provide them with the support and care they need, and also make it absolutely clear that we continue to provide every support necessary to the work of Victoria Police as they deal with this individual who perpetrated this most evil and awful of criminal act. I also wish to again confirm that the government has been working with other agencies as a show of support It's a gesture, it's a show of support on behalf of the Victorian community that prominent buildings this evening across Melbourne will be lit up in blue. It's a very physical way that we can say to the men and women of Victoria Police, we stand with you, we support you, we care for you, we love you, particularly in this time of grief, and particularly to the broader Victorian community. Now is the time for unity. Now is the time to join together and show support, not just for the Victoria Police, to those emergency services, but to each other. It's a difficult day. Yesterday was a difficult day. And for those families who have lost loved ones, there will be many difficult days ahead, and we must continue to hold them in our thoughts and in our hearts as we move forward to continue to provide them with every support we can. I'll now hand over to the Deputy Premier to add to my comments.
Thank you, Premier. Today is a difficult day for the close-knit Geelong community. What has occurred after 8 a.m. this morning is a tragedy for the Geelong Christian College community. I've spoken with the Principal, Matilda Schubert, today and offered every support available from the Department of Education. Geelong Christian College has 5 campuses, 3 in Geelong, 1 in Torquay and 1 in Surf Coast, Drysdale. This bus was going to the 3 Geelong campuses. The Geelong campuses are made up of a junior, middle and senior school. First and foremost, my thoughts, prayers are with the young girls' parents. I can only imagine what the news and what the harrowing scenes would have been like after that terrible incident, and you can only imagine what the children themselves must have gone through when they realised what they had actually gone through. Those first few moments, that first 10-20 minutes would have been horrific and truly awful. I do want to pay in particular tribute to the first responders. By all reports and the briefings I've received, the first responders on the scene at the time were absolutely marvellous in their support for the young children and making sure that they were ordered, separated and looked after and cared for. As we speak right now, 2 of the young children are in the Royal Children's Hospital and 9 children are in the Geelong Hospital. I really want to thank the Department of Education equally. The Principal has said she's had every support available today. We have a team on site at the school, a multidisciplinary team of psychologists, mental health professionals and counsellors. Those professionals will be on site for the remainder of today, and indeed they'll be on site tomorrow and going forward. Sadly, this isn't the first occasion where a young child has lost their life unnecessarily. We recently experienced this at Auburn South Primary School. And, being a principal, being the education state provides some wonderful opportunities and some wonderful days. But it's days like today that are truly heartbreaking. But one thing I do know is that the education community down in Geelong will come together and they'll wrap our arms around these parents and they'll wrap our arms around the Geelong Christian College. And I'll continue to support the Principal, Matilda Schubert, on whatever support she needs going forward. Thank you, Premier.
Thanks, Deputy Premier. Just briefly, if I could, in relation to our fallen police officers in Porepunkah from the release of their names today, and to Detective Leading Senior Constable Neil Thompson and to his family, to his work colleagues, a 38-year veteran of Victoria Police. What marvellous, amazing service to the community over so many decades. And we know that Victorians are very grateful for that service, and we'll do everything we can to provide comfort and support to his family and colleagues in this time. And to Senior Constable Vadim Devart, a different journey. 5 years at Victoria Police. Like everyone in the community, some of us are preparing for life after work, others are beginning their journey. And we want to thank both of those officers' families for the contribution that they have made to their community, to Victoria Police, to keep people safe, and we'll do everything we can, Victoria Police can, to support them at this time and their work colleagues. As the Premier stated, the Chief Commissioner continues to be engaged with us on updates and briefings. We know that there's an active police operation continues in North East Victoria to bring a dangerous armed offender into custody. Victorian community can continue to provide support to Victoria Police. If you see anything, if you hear anything, if you're unsure, if you can make reports, then please do that through Crime Stoppers or 000, and understand also to limit travel around the northeast as police have advised. That work continues. We're very grateful in these trying times and circumstances, not only for our first responders and the work they've done in the Geelong region today, but every day to keep us safe and to support our community. And we know the police will continue to work very hard to bring an offender to justice and provide a greater level of community safety to the people of the North East. Thanks, Premier.
Minister. Okay, any questions? The Chief Commissioner went to this yesterday. Every resource is being dedicated to finding this criminal, and every resource will be added to if the Chief Commissioner needs additional support. They will find this person, and there will be, and I'm just repeating what the Chief Commissioner said yesterday, every effort is being put to finding this individual, to bring justice to the families of the 2 police officers who have been killed, and we support Victoria Police in putting every effort behind this task.
There's been suggestions that perhaps he knows the bush quite well. He spent quite a bit of time there and may have set up separate campsites. Have you been briefed on any of that information?
Yes, there has been a number of briefings provided to the Minister and I, and you can appreciate that we will leave Victoria Police to provide updates on the operation of this search. It is absolutely vital that we ensure that both accurate information is being provided to the Victorian community directly from Victoria Police, and also that we are not cutting across with comment or speculation cutting across, because I think we all stand united in wanting to see justice being done in this instance. That I will confirm that the Minister and I have had a number of briefings over the course of today, keeping us updated on, and there is a huge effort. There is a huge effort that is going on right now in the northeast of Victoria. There is support also from New South Wales that is being offered and is being worked through with Victoria Police.
Do you think you'll need that offer of support from New South Wales at this point?
That will be a matter for the Chief Commissioner to confirm. There is huge resources being put on the ground right now in northeast Victoria, and I think we've all seen, going back to the earlier question, there has been a lot of media reports about the landscape. It's a beautiful part of country Victoria. It's a beautiful region, and the bush is a spectacular place to live in northeast Victoria. But Victoria Police know this part of the world very well as well. So let's give Victoria Police every support that we can to ensure that justice is done in this matter.
Sounds like things are escalating at the property there. There's been some paramedics coming through, pickup truck, helicopter. Have you heard anything recently?
Yeah. Again, Benita, in terms of those operational details about what's happening on the ground, we are obviously here in the centre of Melbourne, and there is work happening right now on the ground in northeast Victoria. I will continue to allow Victoria Police to provide operational details to the community. And again, I can really understand the strong level of interest, because what happened yesterday was a tragedy, was a deep tragedy. It's gone to the core of Victoria Police. It's hurt so many families. And also too, let's remember the community of Porepunkah. It's a beautiful community. It's a tight-knit community. And they're also feeling the weight of what is happening in their beautiful country town. So I can understand that people have a hunger for further information, but that information will be conveyed in terms of the operational detail from the Chief Commissioner.
How community members are doing, given that they've been instructed to stay inside their homes?
Look, it's challenging for them. It's challenging, and there has been conversations with the Alpine Shire representatives, the Mayor and the CEO of the Alpine Shire, and the government, I have conveyed every level of support that is needed to the community will be provided, and we will work through that in coming days in terms of what that support looks like. It is still very, very early in terms of the operational response to this awful incident, but yes, there is no doubt that this is a community that is feeling the enormity of how their beautiful country town yesterday, that peaceful, wonderful country lifestyle, was not just shattered, but was put into the most awful of spotlights possible. And that is why we both put our arms around Victoria Police, but also remember to put our arms around the community of Porepunkah, because many of those community members are also involved in the first responder response, are involved in that emergency response, are involved in providing services that are supporting the operational response that's happening on the ground right now. They're putting their community first, and we stand with them every step of the way.
I know it's very early, but have you had any contact with the families of the two officers, or when might that happen?
Yeah, I will be speaking with. I will be speaking with the families. That time is being organised through Victoria Police. It is the unimaginable grief that those families are experiencing right now means I will very carefully work with Victoria Police about the appropriate time to speak directly to those families and convey to them the deepest of sympathies on behalf of the Victorian community, recognising that these two police officers were also men who were brothers and sons and fathers, active members of their community. They loved a whole range of activities like we all do. There are people behind that uniform, and there are people who loved those men in uniform, and I'll be conveying to those families how much we stand with them and support them during their most difficult of times.
The community members that are feeling quite scared right now, what is the best advice for them?
Yeah, my advice is Victoria Police's advice. Follow the advice of Victoria Police. And again, I can appreciate being told to stay indoors, to be alert to your local surrounds, to provide information if you suspect anything suspicious in your local community. I absolutely accept that that is really challenging and can be distressing, which is why whether it's through the work, through the council, work through the schools, we will be looking at what further support we can provide, because there is no doubt that there will be distress now in the community, and that distress will carry on because, again, it's tight-knit country communities. People and families, they know each other, they socialise together, they spend time in clubs together. They will all be feeling it, both the stress of the situation and the response, but also the loss of the police officers.
Sovereign citizens, is there starting to be some work looking at what needs to be done around that? Obviously, it's not just this Easter. There was Queensland. There's been, I guess, disruptions across society already.
Nicole, I can understand that there is a heightened level of speculation and interest on this particular group of individuals who identify in this way. But frankly, today I am not focused on the conspiracy theories. Others may be. I'm not. I'm focused on providing every ounce of my personal support and the government's support to Victoria Police and to the community of Porepunkah.
As the Deputy Premier, the children that are in hospital, do you have an update on their conditions from the hospital? Sure.
There's a range of injuries, Heidi, from serious to broken bones, skull fracture, and there's some milder injuries too. So it's a very, very difficult time for the loved ones, the parents. By all reports, it was a very horrific scene after about 8:20. And again, the first responders, the ambulances, the ambulance police, the helicopters all did an incredible job trying to reassure the young students, get the students the medical care, support the parents that were arriving at the scene as well. So it's been a really, really tragic, harrowing day in Stonehaven near Geelong. And as I said at the outset, every support has been offered. The principal, being a principal, has some marvellous days, but today's probably the toughest day this principal will go through. And we'll be with her right to the very end, supporting her and all the students and their parents.